Good afternoon, guys. It's Zardatt here. I'm back. I know it's been a bit. I've had a lot going on in my life, a lot of family stuff lately. YouTube kind of also has been dropping the ball. They don't really share my content as much, and I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for that. It's probably because I didn't do videos consistently for about I don't know. Was it about a month? And now it's been and that's kind of what caused my second drop off though, is like I wasn't getting any attention on my content beyond the few, like the 55 or 60 of you guys that still watch. And I really appreciate that I have a few subscribers that stick around. But I did want to grow the channel a bit, and I know it's old school the way I do things. A lot of the new um, graphics and ways of doing the channel I'm not hip to yet. Again, you guys have watched my progression from the beginning of this last year to now, so you know you've been on the channel. If you haven't, and you're seeing this for the first time, I really enjoy MWO. I try to do MWO content. I just started experimenting with something new for me, weapons wise, which is these Thunderbolt medium range, high payload lock on missile. Cannot benefit from Artemis, Narc, or Tag. So in reality, they look kind of crap, right, on paper. Damage is decent for the weight and size of the module, but they don't get a lot of bonuses. You know, they get a crit bonus. That's about it. But in actual gameplay, they have some really cool features, like they kind of drop into a target, which for medium range missiles is really nice. Instead of the straight arc that you get with MRMs, you can actually like artillery arc these, and they have a curved arc so that they'll come down on target. So it's almost like a shorter range version of an LRM in a sense, but more than that, they act almost more like projectiles than they do like missiles, in the sense that they have like a weight to them and a really low thrust engine on these missiles. So it almost looks like they spurt out there and then they drop into the target. So it's kind of a cool effect. And second, it's a useful mechanism for medium range if you're trying to get over terrain, around terrain, and have a relatively effective weapon that applies a lot of damage to a small area. For missiles, these things are very targeted. They only shoot a few out, and if they hit a relatively small hitbox. So I like them. I think they're pretty. From what I've seen so far, just in gameplay, just anecdotally, they seem to work pretty good. Um, so I decided to throw a few more of them on this bushwhacker to see if I could make it work. If you guys remember, this was my mixed bushwhacker setup with MRM, heavy machine guns, and a PPC. Literally all I changed was the missile type. So not super exciting, little change on my part, but I kind of like, just tweaking things a little bit and seeing how it works. This is the BSWX1 version of the bushwhacker. Um, Really only relevant if you're keeping it stock. I didn't. Everything from my armor layout to my engine, I believe, is different on this one, but I'm not sure. I really love this camo though. It's kind of like a space race car. But anyway, let's jump into a game and see what we can do. And it may take a bit to get a game because unfortunately MWO population wise is dying. It needs more people. If you guys have any interest in this gameplay at all, I urge you to download the game, pick it up, start messing around, find a mech that you enjoy, modify it, and play with it because the game really needs players. It's a great game. Yes, it has its limitations, it has its problems, but the core gameplay is still good, and it's still only found in this game, and that's why I'm saying it's worth saving. It's really this type of gameplay. You can play Mech Warrior 5 and kind of get a similar feel from it, but you don't have the flexibility that you do in this. This is the only mech game that I know of, and correct me if I'm wrong, subscribers, but this is the only mech game that I know of where you have this type of gameplay. I'm going to pick skirmish because domination is for dweebs. Somebody else will probably overrule me and take domination. Oh, maybe we're actually going to get a skirmish. I'm just kidding. All the game modes are pretty good in this. I'm not a huge fan of domination just because I don't like standing in a big circle and hugging it out with the enemy. Domination, it's pretty much everybody goes to the middle of the map and you try to hold the area. And it, in my opinion, it um, heavily favors mechs that are designed to just alpha strike and heavies and assaults. It's stuff that can carry the most weaponry and do the most damage in a single strike. And that's not my preferred gameplay. My preferred gameplay is a map like this. You can run around and jump, get behind people's back. You can flank. You can use team strategies to do stuff. You guys hear me okay? Check, check. Let's see where to go here. Lights are going to the west, or to the east rather. Let's see if we can go over here and kind of stay in the low ground, I guess. I don't know. Pretty sure that's way out of my range, yeah. The other thing about this mech is I really don't have a ton of skill points in it yet. Still got a ways to go. So nobody's going to the far right here. I think that's going to be a problem. Because we're probably going to get flanked at some point. And I would go over there, but I don't want to be the only one going over there. So I think what I'll probably do is go around to the right, since everybody seems to be... Go around to the right, try to flank that way. Since for whatever reason we seem to be heavier on this side. Don't ask me why. Honestly, I need to put a UAV on this setup and not just an airstrike. Airstrikes are great, but they are less useful, I think, probably than I don't want to say less useful, but in general less useful than a UAV. See what I mean about shooting these over terrain? I mean, literally I can just sit here and rain missiles down on this guy. I don't have to directly engage, and I'm doing, what, 15 damage on a hit? I mean, not too shabby. Yeah, I don't want to get smacked in the back. Oh. I do not want to be the only one fighting this guy. I'm going to get out of your way so I can come around and go right. Since this guy wanted to push out, let's make him pay for it. Yeah. Nicely done, my big clunky fellows. You know what? I'm gonna go around the corner here, see what we got. Since, nobody's over here, and going out by yourself is a great idea in a game like this. I don't know. I feel like maybe we could make some traction behind people here. We're not if we don't get caught out ourselves. We can sneak into this canyon and shoot somebody in the back. Let's see. Ow. Yeah, let's see if we can get them to. Damn. Ah, did not see the guy in my back. That's my fault. Well, that was bound to happen. Not a bad little fight, though. That was bound to happen. I was by myself. I think I did help the team though, because I was over there kind of distracting those guys. Our guys were coming over top, so regardless, a little bit of distraction goes a long way. Not a lot of damage, but I'll take it. These guys are tripping over each other here. Try to get the last few kills. Get that dude that got me. Get him. There we go. Say I want a different perspective. There we go. Nice job. Just melted that guy. Good game. Good game. Good game, guys. It was all me distracting them for you on the left. With my whopping 218 damage.
Good game.
Victory is ours. Don't forget.
Let's go run over some cars. Alright, on to the next one, I guess. I think I'm starting to get these missiles down, though. If you guys noticed there, I was pretty consistent in use of the missiles, even though they're on kind of a funky button for my razor here. I was able to keep shooting the missiles pretty effectively, I think. Didn't do a ton of damage. Again, got taken out kind of early because we weren't paying attention. That's my fault. That's my ADD at work. But I felt like we were pretty good at first over that side, just going up that side canyon and trying and essentially we baited out like a third of their team, and they came out in front of a whole line of our mechs. So even though we didn't have a massive impact damage wise, I feel like we were still pretty effective in that game. But yeah, I really like this mech. I like the setup. I like having a bunch of machine guns too. Machine guns are fun. and they can do good but consistent but good damage up close. They're not obviously they're not made for damage dealing, but if you've got something like a PPC to strip armor, um, once the armor's gone, they can do component damage and other stuff pretty good. So I don't know. I like this setup. We'll see how it does in a few more games. Let's. Should we play one more? I think that's it for today for this video at least. But I am going to post a gameplay session where I play a bunch of max back to back, so you guys can watch. The only bad thing about that in MWO is queue time. So what you might see is when I do that video editing, I cut out um, between each match, and we just go like mech to mech to mech. So I'm gonna try that format for the next video. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.